Ahead tonight on News 25 at 10 o'clock, a Victoria restaurant manager given the boot after flipping more than just pancakes, the viral video that caught it all. Plus, the happiest place on earth turned scary after two incidents, one that now has a Disney worker in cuffs. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jonathan McCall. Rissa has the night off. Your hometown news at 10 o'clock starts right now.
News Center 25, your hometown news with Jonathan McCall, Rissa Shaw, weather with Chief Meteorologist Bill Alexander, sports with Don Brubaker.
A war of words between a Victoria restaurant manager and two customers quickly gaining likes by the second on YouTube after the manager cusses out those customers. The incident happened at the Victoria IHOP and every ugly exchange was caught on camera. Tonight we've learned that manager is off the job and corporate officials are now getting involved. It's a story you'll see first on News Center 25. Janelle Bluta has the details. Now, IHOP has not identified that manager, but customers we talked with today say it's not the first time they've heard of his rude behavior. Lewis says he plans to visit the restaurant in the next few days and has already filled that position with a new manager. He also says several new workers from Houston and Corpus Christi are being relocated to the Victoria restaurant. We did try talking to the managers at that location, but they did refuse comment. Communicating isn't a problem with Cuero police. They're actually embracing it as the city battles crime. Police say they've seen a slight rise in burglaries and other crimes in recent months. Police officials say the numbers aren't any different than other cities with a similar population to the size of Cuero. The 17-officer department says they're using outreach programs to help with the crime. They also say residents have to take an active role in limiting their risk of becoming a victim. Saunders also says people should think about purchasing an alarm system. He also recommends people to call police if they notice any suspicious activity. In Houston, police are searching for a gunman who shot and killed a teenager right in front of his own mom yesterday. Houston police say the teen was shot while sitting in a parked van. That's when they say a man approached him. A second man then started shooting the teen, killing him. His mom was in the passenger seat and saw it all happen. Police believe the shooting could be gang-related. After the shooting, police say the men took off on foot. The teen was a senior at a local high school and was scheduled to graduate in just a few weeks. So far, there's no description on those suspects. New at 10, a bizarre scene also from Houston. A man jumps to his death while trying to avoid being hit by a car. Police say the man was standing behind his stalled car on a freeway when another car crashed into it. Police say the man leaped over the freeway to get out of the way, but plunged 30 feet to the pavement below. Police say he died on impact. The driver of that second car is not expected to be charged. Police say the accident was simply unavoidable. The man behind the deadly Fort Hood shooting will have to undergo a mental evaluation before he can act as his own attorney. The judge in the case against Nadal Hassan wants to see if he can physically hold up during the trial. Hassan is paralyzed from the chest down after he was shot during the 2009 massacre on the Texas Army post. A prior exam determined that Hassan is mentally capable of conducting his own defense. Hassan faces the death penalty or life in prison without parole if convicted in the 2009 attack that killed 13 people. New at 10, human error is being blamed on a mortar explosion that killed 7 Marines in Nevada back in March. Marine officials said a Marine operating a 60-millimeter mortar tube and ammunition did not follow correct procedures, resulting in that explosion. The Marines did not release a copy of the investigative report and declined to provide any further details about the nature of the deadly mistake. Officials also would not say whether changes to training procedures were changed. Marine officials announced earlier this month that 3 people were removed from their command following the accident at the Hawthorne Army Depot. 7 Marines and a sailor were also wounded. Meanwhile, back here at home, a symbol to honor the men and women of the military fallen in war has now become a target of thieves. Officials with the Warriors Weekend organization say 2 flags at the Field of Honor were discovered stolen Monday night. One of the flags belonged to the wife of a Marine that was killed in a car crash last August. So far, organizers are simply asking for those flags to be returned. No questions asked. A Washington state dad is now behind bars on a $1 million bond after police say he put his 6-week-old daughter in a freezer to keep her from crying. That father, Tyler James Deutsch, now faces a charge of child assault. Authorities say when they found the baby on Saturday, she only had a core temperature of about 84 degrees, along with a broken leg, an arm, and serious head injuries. Prosecutors say Deutsch put the baby in the freezer because she was crying, and then he fell asleep. Someone else who won't be winning any Parent of the Year awards is this couple from Pennsylvania who's now accused of putting their own daughter inside of a dog cage. The scene was captured by terrified motorists who were driving by and saw it on the highway. The girl's mother and stepfather say they were leaving a friend's home. Their dog was in the back truck making a fuss, so they pulled over to let the 10-year-old girl get inside of the cage to calm him down. The girl's mother says it's not a big deal.
I didn't think it was that big of a deal. We weren't going fast.
But state police think otherwise. They found the couple a short time later and arrested them. They now face felony charges of child endangerment. That girl has now been placed with other family members. An Arizona mom is behind bars in Mexico after authorities say she tried to cross the border into the U.S. smuggling drugs. Tonight, the family of the woman is coming to her defense while U.S. officials keep a close eye on the new developments. ABC's Lana Zach has the latest. New tonight, 10 o'clock, the happiest place on earth turns a little scary after two incidents at Disney amusement parks in recent days. Christian Barnes, a worker at Disney World in California, is now being held on a $1 million bond after an explosion at the park yesterday forced the Toontown area to close down. Police say they found dry ice discovered in a water bottle is what led to that explosion. Today at Disneyland in Florida, police say a grandmother found a loaded gun on a ride there. Owner of the gun, who has a license for a concealed weapons permit, was found a short time later. Even with a permit, weapons are not allowed inside Disney parks. There's no word on if any charges will be filed. Meanwhile, we're following a developing story from Washington tonight where there are reports surfacing that President Obama is expected to name James Comey as the next FBI director. He served as the former Deputy Attorney General under former President George W. Bush. Comey became a hero of Democrats because of Bush's warrantless wiretapping program when he refused to reauthorize it. If confirmed by the Senate, he would replace Robert Mueller, who's stepping down in September. Meanwhile, President Obama is also on the hunt for a new Syrian ambassador. Today, Robert Ford announced he is resigning from his post in July. According to senior State Department officials, the move was not expected. The State Department has said it pulled Ford out of Damascus in October of 2011 because of credible threats against his personal safety. Ford is currently in Turkey trying to help the Syrian opposition unite. We're also following some breaking news tonight from New York, where two rice-laced letters were sent to New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. The letters called out Bloomberg's stance on supporting gun control. Two letters were sent, one addressed to the mayor at his office in New York. A second letter was sent to Washington to the offices associated with Mayors Against Illegal Guns. The anonymous letters threatened Bloomberg and referenced the gun control debate. He's called for background checks and a ban on assault rifles. So far, nobody has come into contact with the letters has become ill, but a number of people who have been exposed are now showing symptoms. Right now, the FBI and NYPD Joint Terrorism Task Force are investigating. Ricin is derived from castor beans and can be deadly if inhaled or ingested.
Right here. Oh, good God, go, 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 go.
Tonight, as many as 66 million Americans keeping their eyes on the skies as wicked weather threatens much of the country tonight. There have already been reports of tornadoes touching down in Nebraska. The potential for all that weather stretches from Texas to New York. Just yesterday alone, more than 20 twisters touched down. In California, high winds are fueling dust storms and even brush fires. In Iowa, people are being soaked by too much rain, which we have that problem here. Kansas and Oklahoma, which is still recovering from last week's deadly EF5 twister, are also on watch. And it's hard to imagine that we're not even in hurricane season yet and we're already seeing those storms popping up.
That's right. Looks like it's going to be the case again this year, above normal hurricane activity.
All right. That's a lesson for people to get prepared right now.
Right now. You don't waste your time.
That's true. All right, Trey, thanks so much. As people look to keep cool with all these rising temperatures here locally, the Houston Fire Department warning parents to look before they lock. It's part of a program to make parents aware of the dangers of leaving children inside of hot cars. 8 kiosks will be set up around the city of Houston. Will demonstrate the difference in temperature between inside and outside of a heated car. Doctors say children are far more sensitive to extreme heat than adults. Dr. Percy recommends this tip for you. Leave your purse or your wallet in the back seat with your kid, just as a reminder to check the back seat before you get out of the car. Something else parents should be paying attention to: the dental health of their babies. The American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry recommends babies should be seen by a dentist as soon as their first tooth appears. That usually happens anywhere from 3 to 9 months. Babies' first visit to the dentist, though, should come before their first birthday. The CDC says tooth decay is actually a chronic childhood disease that's preventable. A recent survey from the CDC found 97% of parents were not even aware of the importance of that first trip to the dentist. For years, women have been torn between careers and their families, but a record number of women are bringing home the bread instead of baking it. A Pew Research study found women are now the primary breadwinners in 40% of U.S. households. That's a dramatic change from 1960, when it was just 11%. But not everyone thinks the idea is good. 50% of those surveys said the increasing number of women working outside the home makes it a little harder to have a more successful marriage. 74% say it makes it harder for parents to raise their children. One woman who's stepping down from her high-profile job, longtime Texas Comptroller Susan Combs. In addition to her stepping down, Combs also says she's not running for any office in 2014. She was considered a potential candidate for lieutenant governor. As she leaves, a number of people already lining up to take her place. Among those, State Senator Glenn Hager, who says he will toss his name into the ring for her spot. A number of other state leaders are also considering a possible run as well. Texas will play a huge role in the first cell phones that will be manufactured completely here in America. Phones from Motorola will be the first to be completely designed, engineered, and manufactured in the U.S. The project, expected to bring as many as 2,000 jobs to North Texas. Texas Governor Rick Perry hailed the move as a coup for the state's growing economy. Do you feel alone or lost if you're not near your phone? I definitely am one of those people. A new study says that more and more people spend about an hour a day on their smartphones, talking, texting, and tweeting, and playing games. Get this though, iPhone users spend about 26 extra minutes, I should say, than their Android counterparts. Despite all the bells and whistles though, most people spend the majority of the time actually talking on it. Here's something you can share with your friends and family tonight. A cat stuck in a tree for nearly a week here in Victoria is finally down tonight. People living near Rio Grande and Wheeler say the cat had been stuck in the tree for 5 days. They finally got it down somehow. People that we spoke with say the cat probably went up in the tree when those wicked storms rolled in as well. Someone else a little free and on the loose tonight. Check this out: an ostrich in China roaming the busy streets in southeast China on Tuesday night. Officials say it was around 7 o'clock when it broke into rapid traffic right in the middle of rush hour, first knocking down a motorcycle. That didn't stop it. It continued marching in the wrong direction, and it met head-on 2 cars 2 times. Although passers-by were surprised and tried to help it, it managed to stand on its feet and took its own way before anyone could tell what happened. The ostrich roamed free for at least 4 streets before it was finally caught. Luckily, though, no one was seriously hurt with all of those accidents. Everyone's still trying to piece together where that bird came from.
I think that ostrich was jaywalking. Or was it the jay ostrich walking?
Bird walking or something like that. Yeah. I wonder if you can get a ticket for that. What happens?
In China, we'll have to check that out. I don't know about what statutes are on the books here.
Yeah, that's right, because it is going to be hot. Obviously, we're not hitting any dangerous levels yet, but that's going to be around the corner.
It could be not that far away, yes.
That is our time for now. Be sure to join Shauna and Kate for the news starting tomorrow morning at sunrise at 5:30. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 and 10. Have a great night, everyone.